According to a new report, Real Housewives of Atlanta star Kandi Burruss could lose her battle to Todd Tucker in this battle over the prenuptial agreement being enforced. Not only that, Todd Tucker has taken to social media to show support to Kandi despite this ongoing divorce.
Here we go now.
Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So it's been a while since we talked about Kandi and Todd's divorce because the last report that we gave you, Kandi has asked the court to seal these divorce proceedings because it's already started to get a little messy. But also since then, Kandi has taken to social media to thank everyone for their support, saying check in on your strong friend, which she considers herself one of the strong friends. And a lot of people were showing support for her in her comment section. But Todd Tucker, it felt like Todd, anytime that Kandi would post about what she was going through, not really talking about the divorce, it felt like Todd would then make his own social media post, almost trying to garner the same sympathy. It just felt that way. I'm not saying that's exactly what was happening. He's also going through this divorce as well. However, it seems as if, according to Us Weekly's new report, that the prenuptial agreement that Todd Tucker in his recent divorce proceedings has asked for the prenuptial agreement to be not enforced. He's also asking for primary custody. Kandi's response to that was that, first of all, you're just as busy as I am. You're out of Atlanta just as I am. And the prenuptial agreement should be enforced because you signed it willingly and we have footage to show that. Well, according to Us Weekly, they say this. They said that Kandi Burruss' estranged husband, Todd Tucker, might have a fighting chance at winning his prenuptial agreement in their ongoing divorce, but it'll be tricky, legal experts warn. Anytime a person signs a prenuptial agreement days or hours before their wedding, they are creating an argument to be made later that they were under duress or undue pressure to sign the document. So part of me thinks that Todd did not think that he could fight the prenuptial agreement, but when he explained to his divorce attorneys how it all played out, the divorce attorneys probably said, we should probably question this. Or maybe they didn't even say that. Maybe they were just saying, well, you signed a prenuptial agreement. Tell me a little bit more about that. And maybe that was the decision. Not saying that it was the right decision. So this was from Holly Davidson, a founding partner of Kempire Davis LLC, who is not connected to the former couple's divorce. But they exclusively tell this to Us Weekly. She noted that their legal argument, quote, only holds weight if Tucker can prove his argument meets certain factors. While she believes Tucker, who's 52 years old, had, quote, ample time and opportunity to call his attorney before signing the prenup ahead of their 2014 wedding, Davis said, in the rare chance that Kandi's lawyers fraudulently asserted that Todd's attorney had signed off on the terms of the prenup when they had not, it might have a chance to win. However, in her opinion, the fact that Todd had an attorney on retainer and had been discussing the prenuptial agreement with him for months preceding the wedding makes his argument a losing one. So I know by now you've seen all the headlines where people have said to you, Todd might have a winning chance. We really don't know. It's going to be up to the judge to make that decision. Attorney Kay Bruggeman, partner at Gallet, Dreyer, and Berkeley LLP, who has not worked with the estranged couple, agrees, telling us it could come down to the unaired Bravo footage that Burruss is using in their divorce battle. Because Georgia requires full financial disclosure, voluntariness, and the absence of coercion, Todd would need to show that one of these elements was missing when he signed, she says. This is where the wedding-related footage becomes significant. If the footage depicts Kandi or her family exerting undue pressure, setting last-minute deadlines, or presenting the prenup under emotionally charged circumstances, Todd's argument could be persuasive. And here's the thing, a lot of people have been basing their opinions on the edited footage. Yes, based on what we saw on the edit, it probably did seem like, okay, this is drama. It's high end drama. He's signing it right before the wedding. So a lot of people made their own legal determination based off of edited footage. But if we're talking about unaired footage, we were like, well, no, all of this played out within this amount of timeline. He had more than enough. For all we know, he could have called his attorney in the unaired footage. We don't know. That's how much reality television sometimes is manipulated. The attorney also says that the footage from the Real Housewives of Atlanta and 5-part reality television wedding documentary, Kandi's Wedding, could help Tucker. Similarly, if the footage or other evidence suggests that he did not fully understand the financial terms, did not have a realistic opportunity to consult independent counsel, or was rushed into signing without negotiation, Georgia courts may view those factors as a weakening the agreement's enforceability, she adds. The number one issue Todd would have to prove to challenge the prenup is its involuntariness, that he was pressured, threatened, or coerced into signing, coupled with the lack of time to negotiate, consult with counsel, and understand the draft he ultimately signed. She continues, the particularly interesting part of this issue is what the raw footage captured. This is important to note because, like I said before, I feel a lot of people are basing their opinion off of what we watch, which is edited. She says, the particularly interesting part of this issue is what the raw footage captured, what producers can testify to, and if there are any dramatic effect put into the edited footage that can be contradicted by witnesses to show that any panic, coercion, or intensity in that moment was inserted for dramatic effect, and that all was settled prior to Todd signing. So this could also break the fourth wall. All the drama that you saw on Kandi's wedding, they could be like, well, no, technically he didn't sign it that day. He signed and agreed to it the week before. I don't know if that's going to happen. We may never know if this is actually sealed. So Jonathan Witz, a New York-based divorce attorney who specializes in high conflict, high asset custody disputes and prenup litigation, tells Us Weekly that Tucker's prenup claim, quote, may have some validity as the lack of counsel is but one factor for the court to consider. While having counsel is an important right, it's not the be-all, end-all of the argument. The argument would have to be one-sided in favor of Kandi in terms of the rights or deprivation of rights under the agreement. Therefore, if the agreement was lopsided and deprived Todd of significant marital wealth, and he was unaware of the terms and Kandi had counsel to present, that could be enough to increase his odds at overturning the agreement. Leverwitz, who is not involved in the divorce case, says. Here's the other element, too, in regards to what they're saying here, that based on what we saw on the show, Todd would be able to split everything that they did together during their marriage. It was just everything that Kandi had before the marriage that he would not have access to, including the home that they lived in. As you know, Kandi filed for divorce back on November 21st. As Us first reported, while Tucker acknowledged that he was given the prenup before their April 2014 wedding, he claims that his lawyer was not present when he was given the final draft. The former RHOA star brushed off those claims, alleging that Todd audibly announced that he was good to sign the prenup during a private encounter with her after talking to his lawyer on and off camera. Besides the prenup, Burruss and Tucker are also fighting over custody of their two children, son Ace, who's 9, and daughter Blaze, who's 6. Burruss, as you also know, has an older daughter, Riley, who's 23 from a previous relationship. Todd has Kayla from a previous relationship as well. Todd is demanding primary custody of Ace and Blaze, claiming that his ex's work schedule will require her to be away from the kids for several months. Burruss, who was initially asked for joint custody, later changed her request to sole custody. Kandi argued that each of their careers have required them to travel away from the home for extended periods of time independently and jointly prior to and after the births of both of their minor children. Burruss also noted that they have a nanny and their kids have a diverse and concentrated family support network, which includes maternal grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins within a 5 to 20 mile radius of the family's residence. After ending their 11-year marriage, the exes put their differences aside and celebrated Thanksgiving together. But now it seems as if they are supporting each other on social media. Speaking of Kandi being away, Kandi's going to be in the Broadway show And Juliet. She was on The View today and singing. She actually sounded really good. I will be going to see this on Broadway, most definitely, just because I like the premise of it. And Kandi really made me go like, oh, I do want to see this. Well, apparently Todd wants to see it too, because Todd said on social media that in support of Kandi, he posted the video clip of him watching it and said, "Great job, Kandi." And he added Kandi and said, "Great job, keep inspiring and doing your thing!" Exclamation point. Kandi responds 6 hours ago at the time of this recording, "Thank you," with a heart emoji. And for those that have been speculating that something happened between Kandi, Todd, and Fatum, she also was in the comment section as well and added Kandi as well, saying that she did a great job. So no smoke here. Looks like the divorce might turn amicable. We shall see. Only time will tell. Guys, as always, I want to know your thoughts and opinions on this latest update. What a few different attorneys have to say about the possibility of this prenuptial agreement being thrown out or enforced. It will be up to the judge at the end of the day. And it looks like all is good between Kandi and Todd for now. And we hope that it will remain this way because they do have 2 young children to co-parent with. Guys, as always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.
Here we go now. Here we go now.